Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike. Thanks for joining me this morning. Abraham Lincoln was quoted as saying that a man is about as happy as he chooses to be. Another man, Jon Gordon, wrote a book recently titled The No Complaining Rule. And I kind of want to talk to you about both of those things this morning. A man is about as happy as he chooses to be. And a little bit of a review of Jon Gordon's book, The No Complaining Rule, because there's some really important concepts in the book that are important to each of our careers. It's also important to what we're trying to build around here. If you haven't read it yet, I'd highly recommend it. It's called The No Complaining Rule. Some fundamental points from the book that I'd like to share with you. First, that the No Complaining Rule is based on the premise that there are far more dangerous problems in the workplace than jerks. Jerks are easy to identify. They stand out. You know the person that I'm talking about. Everybody knows they're a jerk. They're easy to spot. They're not very well liked. Jerks aren't a problem because they're so obvious to us. The far more dangerous are those whose negativity is less obvious, growing and spreading largely unnoticed. You know what I'm talking about? The whiners, the complainers, the bitchers and moaners. You know these? Gordon calls them energy vampires. They just suck the energy right out of you with their incessant bitching and complaining. A Gallup poll released last year showed that between $250 and $300 billion is lost each year in productivity. Why? Because these energy vampires, they don't exist solo. They like to run in packs. They like to adopt a pack. They like to stand in front of you and take your time whining about all the things that they don't agree with in their life. And that lost productivity adds up to hundreds of billions of dollars each year in our economy. Did anybody go to work today to stand there and listen to somebody else whine, bitch, and complain? According to the CDC, 90% of doctor visits in the past 2 years are stress-related. Have somebody stand at your desk and whine and complain to you today, conspiratorially bitch to you, and see how that impacts on your health. According to the website truejobs.com, the number one cause of stress is coworkers. The number one. And then the CDC says, well, 90% of all doctor visits are stress-related. Gordon claims the two main reasons why people bitch and complain. Number one, they are in a position where they feel fearful or helpless. Okay, that can be legitimate, and the natural reaction to that is to whine and complain. You're expressing it, you're venting it, you're trying to figure it out and get other people's feedback on that. You're fearful and you feel helpless. Okay, the number two reason, it's just become a habit. Yeah, there you go. You know these people? They don't even know they're doing it. They don't even realize it. They're not doing it with conscious thought. It's just become a habit for them in their life. And we all know people like this, right? But here's the thing. In order for it to become a habit with people, it requires a form of codependency. It doesn't become a habit. I'm not a bitcher and complainer. I don't become an habitual bitcher and complainer unless you'll stand there and allow it. Unless you'll empathize with me, unless you'll feel sorry for me, unless you'll help me feel more and more like a victim. I need somebody else to play the game with me. If you won't play the game with me, then I'm going to grow frustrated, and I'm probably going to make you out to be the problem, and I'm going to go find somebody else that will play the game with me. And Gordon claims in his book that the way you eliminate bitchers and complainers is nobody plays the game with them. Hey, Susie, if you have a problem, Mike's office is right over there. Why don't you go talk to him about it? I've got to go back to work. Now, see, if you did that, or why wouldn't we do that? Because we don't want Susie to not like us. But Susie's spreading all kinds of negativity through the workplace. And it's subtle. And it impacts on our health, it impacts on our mindset, it impacts on our profitability. She's sucking the energy out of me a little bit day by day. Why? Because I'm unwilling to redirect her. And Gordon says in his book, when you created an environment where nobody will play the game with the energy vampire, when they'll just say, in our case, hey, Susie, Mike's office is right over there. I would encourage you to go talk to him about it. I've got to go back to work. See you in a bit. Then Susie's stuck with her shit. 2 reasons why people do it. They're scared and they're helpless, or it's just become a habit. And habit requires codependency. Now you might ask, like I did when reading the book, I was like, okay, but are we saying that we can never have a problem? And Gordon in his book says, no, you're going to have problems. And I'm going to say to you, guys, you're going to have problems. I wake up every day knowing today, Monday, March the 22nd, I'm going to have all kinds of problems today and this week. I might not know what they are yet, but I expect them to happen. How do you know when you're bitching and complaining and when you're problem solving? Because there can be a difference. Gordon uses this metric to determine the difference between the two, because problem solving is a legitimate thing, especially in business. Are you talking to somebody that can do anything about it? Oh, is it going to rain again today? Is it ever going to warm up? Well, obviously that's complaining. You can't do anything about that, right? If you're talking to somebody that can't do anything about it, you're just complaining. You're problem solving when in private you speak with somebody that can do something about it. That's the difference between problem solving and complaining. Folks, my job here, well, I have a lot of different kinds of responsibilities, but I think right up at the top of the list is my responsibility to protect your culture and atmosphere. And you will watch me do it, hopefully. If I have an ounce of integrity, I will do it. I will work with somebody all day long to help them solve their problems. If you have problems, I go, good, let's roll up our sleeves and let's get down to work and find a solution for it. I am 100% on board with you with that. If you're walking around our work environment and you're whining and complaining to other people, I will make it my personal mission in life to get you out of here. And let me be really clear about that. The quickest way to disaffiliate yourself with me is to walk around being an energy vampire and trying to suck the life and the energy out of other people. We flat aren't going to do it. That's my job. I'm going to protect the environment so that the people that aren't energy vampires don't get killed by the ones that are. You'll watch me do this. You won't be surprised. We've talked about it now. You know who I'm talking about. The whiners and complainers, the habitual bitching and whining will not exist. I will make sure that it goes away. That's part of my job. Gordon, in his book, gives us an exercise that we can try for all of us to kind of detoxify from it a little bit. I do it about once a month, or I try to. Sometimes I'm more successful than others because I don't hold myself exempt from any of this. We're all people. We all have fear, anxiety, and concepts of helplessness, especially over the past year, in all kinds of different ways. So we've been challenged with this more so in our lives than probably ever before. But Gordon's exercise, and I would encourage you to give it a try too, is to, for one day, forbid yourself from negativity and mindless complaining for one day. For today, Mike, for today, I am not going to focus on the negative, and I am going to eliminate all mindless complaining from my vocabulary for today. Well, why not just do it permanently? It's too big. I'll probably backslide tomorrow. But for today, I'm going to try as hard as I can to be positive with myself and the people around me, and to eliminate the mindless complaining that I can sometimes exhibit. I encourage you to join me in this challenge today, because I don't think any of us woke up this morning wanting to be around people that whine, bitch, and complain, right? We want to be around people that lift us up. And in a sales environment, I don't think we're drawing anybody closer to us. I don't think we make people want to do business with us from our negativity, right? We inspire and lead and build connection through our positiveness. And that's how I want to encourage you to go out there and make it happen for yourself today.